Hello everyone. Uh, Today our topic is fast retransmit, fast recovery. Yesterday we have discussed about traditional TCP, congestion control, and slow start. Okay. So this fast retransmit, fast recovery is the thing which can reduce the problem faced during slow start. See, in slow start mechanism, what happens? Every time congestion window will be doubled. Means exponential growth of the congestion window is seen in slow start mechanism. But whenever this congestion threshold is rectified, that time again the exponential growth of the slow start will goes to the linear. Again, after problem solvation, it goes back to the exponential growth of the congestion window. So normally slow start is applied only when the congestion is seen. This congestion occurs when packets in transit buffers continuously. So number of packets will be more in the transit, means it buffers continuously. So that is why slow start mechanism is used. But here in TCP there is a problem, like the whenever packet loss is seen, that time TCP thinks that it is an congestion and it applies slow start. So though there is no congestion, just a packet loss is seen, still TCP applies this slow start mechanism. So it is not necessary actually to apply slow start mechanism when packet loss is seen, because it is just a simple packet loss and it can be resolved very easily. But here TCP thinks that there is a congestion and it applies slow start mechanism. And how to reduce this congestion threshold? So that is all about fast retransmit and fast recovery. There are several things which leads to the reduction of congestion threshold. That is, whenever sender is sending the packets, receiver will continuously acknowledge the packets. So this informs the sender about two things, that whenever it is getting, one is it is getting all the acknowledgements. The second is when it is getting all the acknowledgements means there is no packet loss. But in any case, if packet loss is seen in the middle, that time TCP thinks that there is a congestion and applies a slow start mechanism. So the gap in the packet stream is actually not due to the congestion but just a simple packet loss due to transmission error. So this behavior can be resolved by using fast retransmit before timer expires. Means sender can retransmit the missing packet before the timer expires. Then this is called as a fast retransmit. Retransmitting the packet is one of the solution to avoid this congestion threshold. So there is no need of using slow start mechanism when a simple packet loss occurs due to the transmission error. Just retransmission of packet before the timer expires should be done if at all packet loss is seen. This is called as fast retransmit. And also the other reason for activating slow start is a timeout due to a missing acknowledgement. So TCP will use this fast retransmit, fast recovery for packet loss due to transmission error in order to avoid this slow start mechanism. The sender can continue with the current congestion window. So whenever sender continues with the current congestion window, that is exponential growth of the congestion window, which is nothing but doubling the window size. That is, doubling the window size means every time two packets, when sender send two packets, two acknowledgements will be received. Now congestion window is doubled, means 4. Now sender will send 4 packets and it receives 4 acknowledgements. So this exponential growth will be continued when fast retransmit is taking place. Means now sender will follow the same congestion window, means that is called as fast recovery. After performing fast retransmitting of packets, which tells the sender that it can continue with the current congestion window, that is nothing but fast recovery. This mechanism will improve the efficiency of TCP dramatically. So there is um, uh, no chance to use slow start here. Just fast retransmit and fast recovery is enough. This is about fast retransmit and fast recovery and TCP. The advantage of this method is its simplicity. That is, just due to the transmission error, if at all packet loss is seen, then it will retransmit the packet before timer expires. So it is very simple to apply this mechanism. And the only disadvantage of this scheme is insufficient isolation of packet losses. If at all, due to the transmission error, if packet loss is high, the rate of packet loss is high, then it becomes a problem. And normally this fast retransmit and fast recovery mechanism focuses on the problems regarding handover. When mobile device moves to another place, then handover will be taking place. So it concentrates only on the problems regarding the handover. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of fast retransmit and fast recovery. The next is problems with traditional TCP in wireless environments. There are some implications on the mobility. The first, slow start is one of the most useful mechanisms in fixed networks, in wide networks, fixed networks. Okay, it decreases the efficiency of TCP if used together with mobile receivers or sender. The same slow start mechanism which is used in the fixed network, if that is used in wireless network with together with mobile receivers and senders, then it may decrease the efficiency of the TCP. The reason for this is using of slow start under wrong assumptions. Under wrong assumption means from a missing acknowledgement, TCP concludes, thinks that a congestion situation is there. But this situation may also happen in networks with mobile and wireless end system. Normally in wireless system this is very common. It is not main reason for the packet loss. So, being in the wrong assumption that there is a congestion, slow start mechanism is used. So it may decrease the efficiency of the TCP. Slow start is only for the congestion. It is not used. It should not be used for the packet loss. So under wrong assumption that a congestion occurred, slow start is used means then it may decrease the efficiency of TCP. So here normally when we are talking about mobility itself can cause the packet loss because it is a wireless network. So there are many situations where a soft handover from one access point to another is not possible for a mobile end system. Handovers will take place at any point of time in the mobility. For example, sender is sending the packets to the receiver while still some packets are in transit to the old foreign agent. Now mobile node moved to the new foreign agent. The sender is sending the packets to the destination. Okay. Before reaching to the destination, if mobile node moves from home network to foreign network, then the packets are still in transit. and after moving to the new foreign network, if mobile node disconnects the connection, then packets will be still in the transit only. This is not because of any packet buffers, continued packets buffers, or this is not because of any packet loss in the middle. So there is nothing to do with the packet loss in wireless access, but it causes the rerouting traffic, means it has to wait until the mobile node switches to the connection. So it is actually because of the disconnection of the mobile device. It has no problem with the packet loss or no congestion, nothing is there. So mobility itself can cause the packet loss. So now the TCP mechanism detecting the missing acknowledgements is the main thing. If at all packet is missing or acknowledgement is missing, then TCP will uh, resolve this problem. But if mobile device is disconnected, TCP has nothing to do with that. Okay, so usage of this TCP, the traditional TCP which is used in wide network, now will be used in wireless network also. But only for the mobility, one cannot change the TCP completely, just to support the mobile users. Okay, because the installed, whatever the installed base of computers is there, the hardware system or the software system, it is too large to be changed. So one cannot change the total traditional TCP or just for the mobility. Okay, mechanisms such as slow start, all this can keep the internet safe, but those are not changed just for the mobility. It has to remain compatible with the standard TCP, and it has to support the mobility. This is how traditional TCP is now converting, changing small things, just the changing few things. It is now supporting the wireless network also. How it is supporting wireless networks? By changing few things, but not completely changing the total TCP connection. How it is handling in wireless network, that we will see in classical TCP improvements. For now, these are the problems with the traditional TCP in wireless environment. Okay. Today we have discussed about fast retransmit, fast recovery, and the problems with traditional TCP in wireless environments. Okay, thank you.